I don't like confusion. I don't like confusion. You understand? A lot of you are going like say you don't have no sense. A lot of you are underestimating your God-given intelligence. We live in a world of information age. Time is now. A lot of the stuff that you want to find an answer to, the answer is not far away. It's at your fingertips. A lot of people walk around with smartphones and they're dumb as hell. Even with a computer right in your hand, we can give you an answer to every question that you ask. Check this out. What is quashed in British law?
According to Collins Dictionary, British English, quash verb, quest. If a court or someone in authority quashes a decision or judgment, they officially reject it. The appeal court has quashed the convictions of all 11 people.
Right. So what's the question about? What is the question about? British English, quashed. I said to somebody, the verdict, the original verdict that came down for Vybz Kartel and Shawn Campbell and the rest of the man them guilty, that verdict has been quashed. I said it was squashed. In America we say squashed. In the UK they say quashed. If you look at both definitions, it's the same thing. Unless you're talking about squashed as in squeezed, right? Let me read it back to you again from British definition of quashed. If a court or someone in authority quashes a decision or judgment, they officially have rejected it. That means that judgment can no longer stand. What else you want to hear? Right? What else do you want to hear? Now, shout out again to Isaac Buchanan. Shout out again to Vybz Kartel and the rest of the man them. I look forward to seeing them free. Of course, things aren't going to be as easy as it seems because you fight a system that is put in place to fight you. You understand? So you're going to have to fight for your freedom. But Vybz Kartel them been incarcerated since 2011. It's 2014, right? And they fought this far. I'm sure a little bit more to go won't be anything to cry about. This is a victory. Make no mistake about it. I don't want to hear nobody else come in my comment section talking about this is not no victory because them sent it back to the Jamaica courts. Listen, let me explain. Because again, I don't like confusion. They sent it back to the Jamaica courts saying the Jamaica courts has a right to appeal. Matter of fact, I'm not going to give you my personal opinion. I'm going to give you straight from the Privy Council website. Okay? And according to the Privy Council website, I am reading the PDF file of the decision. The PDF file of the decision is 18 pages long on my computer. It is 19 pages long on some other people's computer. I don't know why. But it says right here, on this appeal, the board has been presented with an elaborate submission, both orally and in writing, as to the correct approach to constitutional issues surrounding the admissibility of illegally obtained evidence. The board has been invited to lay down new principles, and extensive reference has been made to comparative jurisprudence in a number of jurisdictions. It is unfortunate that these submissions were not canvassed before the Jamaican courts in the proceedings below. Rather, before the Court of Appeals, these issues were argued and decided on the basis of conventional Privy Council jurisprudence from which we are now invited to depart. As a result, the board does not have the benefit of the views of the Jamaican courts on these important matters. In circumstances where the convictions are to be quashed on other grounds, the board takes the view that consideration of these constitutional issues should be deferred to another occasion on which the board may be assisted by the views of the Jamaican judiciary. So they are going off of written law. Section 14, Part 2 of the Judicature Appellate Jurisdiction Act permits a retrial. So there's a retrial permitted by law here to the Jamaican courts. They permit a retrial where a conviction is quashed. If that is in the interest of justice. If that is in the interest of justice. The board proposes to follow, in this case, its usual practice of remitting to the local courts the question whether a retrial should be ordered. That is where they are at now. In closing, for the reasons set out above, the board will humbly advise His Majesty that the appellant's convictions should be quashed, and that the question whether there should be a retrial should be remitted to the Court of Appeal of Jamaica. People, what that simply means, it means that the guilty verdict that they passed down to Vybz Kartel and Shawn Storm and the rest of the guys, that guilty verdict can no longer stand. It needs to be thrown out. It is no longer valid. It was quashed. That is what quashed means right here. If a court or someone in authority, which is the Privy Council, quashes a decision of judgment, they officially reject it. This is British law, right? So that verdict was rejected. Now, a lot of people, of course, like myself, were thinking, come March 14th, Vybz Kartel is going to walk out and we are going to outside and rejoice. And Shawn Storm and them are going to walk out and we are going outside rejoicing. Apparently, that's not the case, right? So now, because Jamaica's system is fighting Vybz Kartel them so much, here is what they're going to do. Because the ball has been put back in their court to decide if a trial needs to happen where they can retry this, or they can simply say, frig it, enough time has gone by, you know, it would be a waste of taxpayers' money, it would be a waste of time to take this back to court again. Plus, so much time has gone by, we've lost valuable evidence, or things have changed which might not play out in our favor. Let's call it a day, release them and leave it alone. Or let's go through another long 60-something days of trial again. That's where this is at now. In the meantime, while they decide this, remember that they no longer have a reason to hold Vybz Kartel them behind bars, because their conviction of guilty has been quashed, thrown out, no good, must no longer be respected, so they have to let the people them go. Now, I see where it's saying that Bert Samuels and other attorneys in the case are now going to make application for bail for their clients, when in reality, if you look at the law, it shouldn't be about bail. If what you're holding me on is no longer valid or to be respected by law, then I shouldn't have to pay bail to come out. You should let me go and start a case all over again if you want to press charges. You understand? So that's the thing there right now, where it's basically you're pressing charges. And of course, I've heard Paula Llewellyn say she welcomes a retrial. Well, bail application has to be made. They're going to have to go before a court to hear the court say you're free on bail, etc., etc. And we look forward to see what happens next in this particular case. But as of now, where it stands, they no longer have any legal grounds to hold Vybz Kartel and the rest of the man them behind bars pertaining to this case, because the original verdict has been quashed. I hope this explanation helps somebody and you understand that it is a celebratory moment and they did beat the case and their convictions were overturned, and this is where it is at now. Fight past the next little part and we'll get to the real glory day. Stay tuned. Leave your comments in the comment section below and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.